and Paul's Excellent Adventure, a 4-year voyage while living on a cruise ship.
So dolphins always make me smile.
Little flipper for you this morning. That was so wild. I mean, we were sitting in our cabin, and we've got that big window up front. Yeah, we just gotten up, and all of a sudden,
I look out the window, and there's dolphins. And so we go throw on our clothes, run down, and started taking pictures of the dolphins, and they were...
Oh, they were amazing.
We even saw a couple of sea turtles.
Yeah.
Too. The water was so clear.
What do they call them? Pods of dolphins?
Pods
they
of
were
dolphins.
They were doing tricks. I had said that I think they were auditioning for a job at SeaWorld.
But
they were doing barrel rolls.
But you've seen the show at SeaWorld,
yeah.
and you thought they were trained to do that. They do that naturally, and we didn't know. How did we know? We haven't seen dolphins out in nature, but
we didn't really even get to show you everything that we saw.
It was a
we
free
didn't start
show.
recording until later.
We should have saved our $100 and some bucks.
Yeah, at SeaWorld.
Just at SeaWorld.
That's true.
Waited for the ocean.
Well, we kind of have that disco feel, if you kind of feel that. We've got kind of some pink light and darker feel because we're coming to you from the showroom one of the showrooms on the ship.
Right.
It's called a Coral Room, Coral Lounge, something like that. But
It is called the Coral Lounge.
Coral Lounge, but it holds maybe a couple hundred people, maybe 300 people,
and it's got a sea theme.
Mm-hmm,
it's got kind of fish on the walls, and
it does.
It kind of has that vibe.
But this is where we hold our talks about our
upcoming
port talks, and it's also where we do some fun things.
We do the lectures series here when we have guest lectures, karaoke.
Yeah.
They even do dance all night, party all night on Fridays and Saturdays.
Do quiz things here.
Quiz shows here.
Trivia type thing.
So we have a nice time. This is a really nice place to hang out. Where we eat is just right above here, so it's easy to eat and then come down and hang out.
And there's another showroom on our end of the ship, in the forward part of the ship, called the Neptune Lounge, and it is under renovation right now, so we don't really use it.
And it's that big, giant showroom.
It's larger than this one.
Very large.
Yeah, it really is.
It's probably, twice the size?
Yeah, probably so. But they're doing some renovation. They had to do some air conditioning work.
So the folks have now. So the folks that will see this room, the Coral Lounge. Mm-hmm. In another podcast, they'll see the observatory, which is another kind of lounge area.
Yeah,
and
we did the show the other day from the observatory.
So hopefully the next one we might do from the Neptune.
Yeah, we could do it from the Neptune.
We're might be under construction.
Trying to show you different places that we hang out here around the ship. Today's kind of a makeup day.
Yes.
This is some video we actually shot a week or 10 days ago now in El Salvador.
I don't think it's been 10 days.
Well, maybe a week. Yeah, maybe a week.
5 days maybe.
But we just got so far behind. I got so far behind. I'll take the blame in editing. I mean, that we kind of just put this off and skipped over it.
Well, and you said you saw the video and you went, wait a second. Did we not do El Salvador?
We didn't do that. But it's got some fun stuff in it. I mean, one of you out there had actually asked the question if we'd ever tried Pupusa. Well, we'll show you here in a minute. Pupusa.
Yeah.
And we'll show you here in a little bit because, we did have a Pupusa experience in El Salvador. And it was really a lot of fun. We had gone to go see volcanoes at... what was the name of Cerro Verde is what they call it.
Yeah, Cerro Verde. We kind of have had this theme kind of through Central America where we've been visiting volcanoes because it's kind of like the thing to do.
Yeah.
And this area had 3 volcanoes.
Yes, but
So-
we didn't really get to see them very well because it was very foggy out. It was
Well, the humidity.
Yeah,
so it was
the humidity
clouds.
was high.
The clouds were up.
and this is, I guess, what they say is their rainy season. We started things off by going up to this area. You can kind of see how cloudy it really was and foggy. This was a little playground that they had as we first got there, and a lot of kids playing. They had this tree in there that you could actually climb up some steps and ladder that they had, and you kind of come up in the middle of the tree. Actually, they had like 4 or 5 of these, and you kind of look, and it's kind of a lookout. You kind of see how you just look out, and you'd be able to see the volcanoes and see forever, unless it's foggy,
Cloudy.
cloudy.
Yeah.
And then we had a cool coffee shop experience. You won't be the.
Oh.
You won't want to miss out if you go up there. This is some of the coffees that they had in it.
That's what I'm drinking.
Yeah, what you're drinking now. Oh, same type of coffee. And you'd bought a bag, and that was really pretty cool. Then we kind of set off on the trail that they had, and it was a really beautiful trail. Just, had that whole rainforest feel, and of course you had to frame yourself.
And again, you can tell it was chillier because I have my sweatshirt on.
Yes, which you wouldn't think. I mean, it's been 90-degree temperatures in Central America and into Mexico. We took the trail. It got tough for you, though.
Yeah.
So you kind of waited out back at the coffee shop, and I went ahead and explored. Beautiful, beautiful plants. I mean, when you come from the Rocky Mountains, I mean, we have a certain feel to the way things look for us. But boy, you go up there, and it's really just a rainforest. And you kind of hear the birds, just beautiful birds, that were in this area. So they call this the love tree. As you can tell, there's 2 trees that have come together. And you're supposed to sit on this. If you're single, you're supposed to sit on it in hope of love coming into your life. But if you are a couple, which unfortunately Lynn couldn't make this part of the trail because of her knee recuperation, so I'll just have to imagine her here. But it's a testimony of your love. Beautiful place, especially with the fog rolling in. Really kind of cool. This is called a snake tree. And this particular tree they estimate to be about 450 years old. Because of erosion of the hill, about 10 meters of this tree is actually below ground where it started. It twists and turns as it gets larger. Kind of saw things that you just don't see other parts of the world, and heard things like this. This bird is just really incredible in its kind of call that it has. Really a lot of fun. Met up with Lynn, and we headed to town.
Yeah, we headed into to one of the colonial towns, Sabatutu, and this is Santa Lucia Church. And was built, kind of features that colonial 1800s colonial style church. Very different, very plain in a sense compared to some of the ornate churches that we've seen. Yeah. It features wooden altar and beams. The town there and the church overlook all of the volcanoes there.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty cool.
And then of course, like any of the towns, they have markets, like kind of a central market there. They had kind of a square again, like we've seen in
very
other
narrow
cities.
area streets to go down.
Very narrow streets. But we had a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of vendors.
Then we headed off, and they had a special deal where we actually made pupusas.
Yes.
Chicken. This is it. This is chorizo. Chorizo is a very good thing. This is, remember the flour we saw? This is cheese with Morocco. If you want to try, we have mora. Mora is a bush. It's an edible bush. Also, we have pork meat. And also we have beans. And papelillo. Papelillo is another kind of bushes, edible bushes. If you are vegan, that will be a good choice. So, the first step, let's take a bowl of flour. So, we do this. We take a bowl, yeah, and we're going to start to make this. To smash it, okay? Yeah, smash it like that. Smash it, and when you're with this, you're going to make a bowl on the middle. You want to try to make a bowl with the flour. Yes, like that, like that. Look how it goes. Enough. Oh yeah, listen. Yeah. Then put inside the ingredient. Remember, all the pupusas has cheese. That's a fundamental. Yeah, it has to be cheese. When you make that, then close your bowl. Close your bowl. Make a little tamal with that. Try to make a circle. Yeah. But if it looks like a triangle, don't worry. It's part of the trick. Make a bowl. Palm it. No, like this. Take it, you are clapping. Yeah, exactly. Finally. No. Make it, exactly. Just the reach. Excellent. One more time, clap. Yeah. Finally, drop it. Yes!
You were the first up to make pupusa, I guess because of your culinary experience.
Yeah,
you
right.
did really well. we had quite a few people on the tour. I was actually the last one up. And, probably not quite as elegant in the way I did. You just put frijoles in yours, right?
Yeah. I wasn't sure about eating plants. I don't eat bushes.
I think I did. I did chicken
picky
on mine, and I put some cheese and something else in. I can't remember, but it's interesting because where they cook them. This is actually a wood burning device. I guess you call it a stove.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite hot.
Super hot.
Yeah,
I mean that had to be 400 degrees, easily 400 degrees, and I don't know how. This lady does it all day long. She's in there cooking all day long,
and
making
she didn't speak a word of English. We spoke very, very little Spanish, of course, and but just the nicest lady in the world.
Well,
she was very patient with all of us for something she does all day.
She was so lovely. Yeah. She was so happy.
And she really
Here's
was.
Paul's here. Oh, you got it, Tuss.
Here's Lynn eating her pupusa.
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did you like the taste of it after all?
I did. It was good. I just all of their flour is kind of like a corn flour. It's kind of like maize.
Yeah.
And I just don't usually eat a lot of corn. Type products, so that was a little different for me, but it was actually delicious. And this is the coffee. We showed you the coffee shop. This is one of their one of the coffees that they showed us. This is kind of it kind of has undertones of like wild berries, real. Not real dark, kind of maybe on the lighter side. It
has a wonderful smell to it.
It's wonderful smell
great.
And wonderful flavor.
Yeah.
I'm not usually a lighter coffee drinker, but the smell and the taste, this is amazing coffee. So
if you make it to Cerro Verde,
you have to go to the Des Volcanoes Cafe. And it was.
And he
it's
gave
amazing.
you a little coffee cup too, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Well, we saw that in the picture. But this is my coffee cup
today. You made some this morning.
I made some this morning. I make it about every couple of days. I've kind of cut back on my coffee, especially since nobody makes decaf in the world. I think America's the only place that I can find decaf.
We'll find out. That'll be the report from you. Decaf here? No.
None of this was decaf. So it's full caffeine. So I kind of cut back to every couple of days that I drink coffee. But I'm I mean, and I've also had to learn to drink my coffee black.
Oh, yeah. Which is really probably the right way to do it, I would guess.
You're probably
it was a
but
fun
I kind
trip.
of miss my milk or my heavy cream. But anyway.
It was a fun trip to Cerro Verde. It was a little disappointing we didn't get to see the volcanoes really because of all the fog and all, but just the area and getting to know the people. Had some great food there.
El Salvador was just a delightful place to be.
Yeah, it really was. And I think people have always worried because you think El Salvador, if you're my generation, you think of a very dangerous place.
Well, it's been very dangerous for a long time.
But they've turned it around. They were claiming that it's now one of the safest places in the world.
And you know what? We felt very safe.
Mm-hmm.
And, there were, I think like we've seen in most of Central America, there's the security, the police are there. But, everybody is so nice.
Yeah,
it's just really everybody is so nice, and I don't think it was because we were tourists. I think people there generally want to live a good life, right?
People we met, our guide, they're very proud of where they live. Most of our guides have been
very proud of their country. And also in El Salvador, it is 60% women, 40% men. And I
so if you're a guy, you want to go there. If you're a woman, you don't want to go there.
and he was explaining it's because of all the war civil unrest that they've had over the years, that their population is just flipped. And so I had to ask him, right, do you have a girlfriend? And he got real shy about it. He said, yeah, she likes me, but I don't know if I really like her. And
didn't she say she kind of wanted them to get married? And
he's kind of like, I don't know if I want to get married. And he was delighted. For a young man, he couldn't have been maybe over maybe under
late
30,
20s,
late 20s, maybe.
Yeah,
but sweet and knowledgeable. Oh my gosh! So we've had great tour guides. If you get to go to El Salvador, I really would say it was one. Yeah, it's like already
not high on most people's list.
No, but it was one of my favorite places so far.
It was fun.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of favorite places. I've probably said that in every podcast, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll try and give you the highs and lows, but it was really
simple life is what I'm learning.
Simple life.
People live a simple life.
Yeah, are happy.
And are happier than most people I know.
Right. Well, we should probably wrap this one up, but we did have some listener questions that we should probably ask real quick. Let me grab them. We have this question: what places on the ship can you hang out other than the cabin? It's probably a good day because we're here in the Coral Lounge.
Yeah,
this is one place we hang out.
And we talked about the observatory.
There's a library here that really is almost more of a game room that a lot of people use.
Maybe.
We haven't done too much there.
Well, no, we can't do our podcast there because it's a quiet zone. You have to be quiet in there. But maybe we can take some photos of it and put it up.
There's a morning light lounge they have that is just kind of one of the bar type areas that they use.
We need to do our show from there.
We should do.
I forgot about the morning light.
Yeah, morning light.
Morning light's really nice too.
Yeah, and then of course we have the 2 showrooms. We have 2 restaurants right now. We have one that's more buffet style, and we have one that is a sit down type place where we actually had dinner last night. So there's kind those options, and of course you've seen the pool deck.
Right,
we haven't shown you the fitness center. There's a fitness center here. It's really nice. Just got 5 Peloton bikes in. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. So it's fairly well equipped, and there's actually a person that runs it that helps as a trainer and so forth. So that's been real good.
And deck 5 is the deck that we can walk around. Four times around is a mile.
That's right. And then there's also a spa here, which is kind of neat. You notice our new haircuts.
Yeah, we got haircuts.
People always ask us, they say, well, what are you going to do for haircuts and all? And some of the passengers actually look for places when they're at port to get their haircut. But we have a stylist, haircutter, barber on board, and she's just wonderful. I got my hair cut yesterday.
Stacy is amazing. Yes. You're looking all handsome over there.
And you can do massages.
Massages, body scrubs, facials, mani-pedis.
And the pricing is about
very reasonable.
What you would expect on land, or maybe even a little lower in some parts of the country.
On land, not on a ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you go to spa services, like if you're on a regular cruise ship, nobody goes to the spa. It's a little expensive.
They're very expensive, yeah.
And it can be if you want one type of treatment here on the ship, but you can buy, they have package deals their package deals are amazing.
Yeah.
So I bought a package.
Yeah.
And so I have someone to cut my hair, I have someone to
You're going to share the
massage.
You're going to share the massage. You bought a package of 8, and you're going to at least give me 2 of them, right? Uh-oh. And it got quiet.
Of course, you can always go. I mean, you can always go, hun, anytime you want.
Some people also kind of wonder, is there a place you can go and just be by yourself? And of course, you got your cabin. That's one place. But there's other places. We don't have a high enough population. Yeah, it's not a high enough population. You can't go to certain areas and just have kind of quiet time without people bothering you. Maybe if you're reading an audio book or reading a book in general, there's places you can go and just hang out, and people won't bother you.
I usually take my audio book up to the deck, the pool deck.
Yeah, that's
I usually
your
take
place.
my audio book up there. But there's also around. Especially on deck 5, there's little chairs and tables all around, so you can sit and look at the ocean.
Oh, sure.
There's, we need to go up the stairs to deck 9, which doesn't have an elevator, but you have to go up the stairs, and it's very small. But we need to do our show from up there.
Area.
We'll do our show from up there one day.
Probably do that from port, because you really feel the breeze as you're moving up there, when we're actually traveling. So
yeah, maybe we can do that on a port day.
Another question people asked was, why are we calling this a 4-year tour if it only takes 3.5 years to circumnavigate the globe? Well, we kind of started late, so we've kind of committed
8 months into it.
Yeah, we started 8 months into this, so we've kind of committed to doing at least circumnavigation. But when they start the next circumnavigation, there's actually some places that we really would like to go. The segment 17 they have on here is like almost 2/3 of a year long, and it's going to kind of go across the globe, so we don't want to miss that. So we've kind of told everybody that we're planning on 4 years. We may do longer than that if we really continue to love it.
You and I have always, in all of our businesses everything we've done in our life, we've always kind of made a 5-year plan. Year 4, we kind of reevaluate, and we look at what the next 5 years would look like. So in my mind, that's another reason we kind of decided that, because I think it's reasonable to try to plan for what you're going to do in 5 years, especially in business, and we've just kind of transferred that to our life. But I always say, if we like it, maybe we'll plan another 5 years, or
we'll take
maybe
it as it comes.
We'll leave. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 years.
Something could happen. We might be only 2 years. I mean, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out.
It's kind of like, where's Waldo?
We'll see how
where
it goes.
will we be? But yeah. So it's we just are following what the kind of what the segments are that the ship has put out. We do own it for 15 years.
Yeah, we do.
So we know that we could stay 15 years.
15 years is the life of the ship. They expect to be the life of the ship.
Right.
Lord willing, creek don't rise, as they say.
Yeah, but it's and it is kind of hard. I think we've kind of been prepared living in Laramie. That Laramie's kind of a transient town. We people come for the college, stay 2-4 years, and then leave. So it's hard. You don't always get to make long-term relationships. It's kind of harder.
But you're right.
That's kind of the same on the ship.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way we've handled our life together. That way is we kind of take it as it rolls and see how things go.
I think that's why our kids weren't surprised that we did this.
Probably not.
I think they went, that doesn't surprise us. What's the next thing they're going to do?
I'm sorry this kind of came out of sequence. I think on occasion some of these shows might, just depending on how quickly we can get things edited, so it may not follow our exact itinerary.
But we didn't want to skip over El Salvador because it was beautiful.
It's a great place.
Lovely.
And we had some things we wanted to show you, including Pupusas, so we really got to do that. If you want to see our itinerary, at least this part of the segments of it, just go to our website. That's Lynn and Paul's Excellent Adventure, no apostrophes, Lynn and Paul's ExcellentAdventure.com. And the information's there. Also links to our social media pages. You can also leave comments there. There's a little button there for questions, and we'd love to answer them. I'm sure that sometimes we don't explain things as well as we probably should, and that's why it's great to have that two-way dialogue.
We're going to be coming up in June. We're going to have about 6 days at sea because we're going to be going from Mexico to Hawaii.
Maybe doing a lot of editing there.
We'll probably be doing some editing, but you'll probably get to see more kind of just the ship, maybe we should just kind of do a day
tour
in the life of Lynn and Paul kind of thing. So
we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
When we left, our music of the day is special. our music that we have today, and we always like to do some music. Our music's kind of special because we actually have a local band
that sent us off.
Mostly young people in the band, but you could tell the guy playing trumpet was kind of the director in it.
They even had one of our one of our passengers to play in the percussion in the little
I think
band.
He wanted to do that.
Yeah,
he did a good job.
He's kind of a funny guy.
But they're called the Tijuana Music Band, TMB, and they played a number of songs as we were getting ready to leave El Salvador, and the folks, the residents of the ship, just really loved it. So here's a little of their music. We'll see you next time.